All right. So I missed recording last Friday's market recap, so I'm just gonna go over it now really quick. At least everything that I remember. Um, so yeah, market open right here, and we have this first presentation for Valley Gap. And also I was overall long bias. I did want to see this, which is previous day lows swept, and that would have been a perfect place to take some longs, but we just swept London lows and then we got the distribution upwards, and we don't necessarily need a sweep previous day lows, so I was fine with that. Um, yeah, so first presentation for Value Gap was right here. So what I saw was right inverse first, then inverse again, then inverse again. With these presentations for value gaps, you want to see price like if it inverses it, you want to see it retest, and then you want to see distribution out of that, and have some PD rate to go along with that for an entry. And my entries are fair value gaps and no fair value gap open, but we did get distribution higher from retesting into this after inverse again. So we got that, and as you know, in like a buy model, typically every single down close candle is considered an order block, and that should support price. So we had this order block right here that I wanted to see price hold. Um, and it kept holding actually. And this was the 10 a.m. news that came out. It was orange folder, or yeah, it was orange or yellow folder, but typically the ones that have been coming out have been pretty highly manipulative. So definitely didn't want to be in a trade then, even if there was a fair value gap. So I would have put my stops to break even, or I would have just completely gotten out of the trade right before it came out. But yeah, we got this, and then we got some volatility into the market, and we distributed higher right here, and there was like no entries right there. So, that was whatever. We came up, we swept London highs and Asia highs, and then we started consolidating at Asia highs, which is a good sign of the beginning of a reversal or a continuation in the buy program. So just wanted to see where price wanted to displace to, see what kind of structure we got. And we got this. So we came in here, swept Asia highs, and then we swept this high right here. Um, Not sell side. That is not sell side liquidity. Okay. Buy side liquidity right here. And we inverse this for value gap, and then supported this, kept supporting this order block right here, which this would have been that order block. So you have that order block, and then we have, I'll just draw on the fair value gap just so I can see all the confluences because it has been a while since I looked at this trade. Um, oh yeah, I forgot to add also, sweeping out London highs, ES was pretty correlated at that point, but it was at all-time highs instead. So there was no structure to really go off of ES. We were kind of just going off of just NQ and the levels that it was hitting there. But yeah, we inversed that. This order block was still supporting price, and we got a good rejection displacement below this low. And so I was ready to target for shorts. During the macro time, right? This fair value gap opened. So originally my entry was right here, and stops were at this high, and then take profit was somewhere down here. I believe it was at right there. Yeah. But then I had to move it because another fair value gap opened right here. And so stop still had to stay there. I ended up moving my stop here, but um being safe, I should have just kept it right there. But luckily for me, we had an energetic move as soon as we came right into that fair value gap. Um, all these were breakaway gaps, so came down like that. I ended up, I believe I took off like here or something. So I took off right there. My second take profit was right here, and I'll go into why that was an issue. Um, and yeah, so yeah, the reason why this was an issue, right? I have to know that the higher time frame trend is 100% bullish because we are still in a buy program to these highs right here. Even though there's an SMT, ES is still going higher. And I I expect NQ to do the same. So the draw is definitely higher, right? And so I'm going against the trend. So why would I? Because originally I was targeting um previous day lows, or at least 50% of this leg, right? Um, my problem was I was not able to see that this right here, this is a high time frame, a 15-minute breaker block. So I ended up taking profits right at it, a little further in, which honestly was pretty lucky because price can just come right into this breaker block and then reject off of it. Um, but yeah, I did not see that. I didn't recognize that I was going against. I didn't know I was going against the trend overall, but my targets were just messed up. Why would I be targeting down here when all we've had are failure swings at the lows and we've been taking out the highs? So I shouldn't have expected price to come all the way down there after already having this huge move in the whole AM session. So it was just unreasonable for me to target right there. What my target should have been were this breaker block first CP, but that probably wasn't enough for me. So I would have targeted I believe it was like a 5 minute. Yeah, it was a 5 minute for value gap, like right here or something. That should have been my first TP. And that should have been, I would have said like 70% of my position probably off there. Which does seem like a lot, but if you're working counter trend, you want to take earlier partials and more partials. Um, just because you're going against a trend, you're not the probabilities for bigger trades don't aren't probable as probable as going with the trend. Um, so yeah, that was the only trade I took. It was a small trade, like 500 or something. But yeah, that's it for Friday. And today's Monday, but it's a Columbus Day, so not trading today. And rest of the week should be interesting. Not a lot of news. I think there's news, red folder news on one day, which is like Thursday. So probably will save most of my capital to trade onto that day. But yeah, see y'all tomorrow, or see myself probably tomorrow.